चैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिधि नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. So 35 slokas, maybe we'll finish in 3 sessions, 3 or 4 sessions, 3 sessions maybe. Okay. So the 13th chapter, it's easy to remember. Arjuna is asking some 6 questions. And it is very easy to remember this chapter. It's the 2 Ks, 2 Js, and 2 Ps. Okay. The 6 questions, so it's very easy to remember for all of you. The Arjuna is asking that question, 2 Ks, who's Kshetra and Kshetrajna, means who's the body and who's field of the body and who's the knower of the body. Kshetra and Kshetrajna, Atma and Paramatma. So Kshetra, 2 Ks, that is Kshetra and Kshetrajna. 2 Ps, that is Prakriti and Purusha. And 2 Js, Jnana and Jnaya. Okay, so this is very easy to remember. So nature, enjoyer, and consciousness. So we'll see how Krishna is going to explain that. First 7 slokas about Kshetra and Kshetrajna. 8 to 12 is the process of knowing the Jnana. So if Bhakti is culminating of the yoga ladder, then why is Jnana presented in this section? The last 6 chapters is about Jnana Yoga. First 6 chapters were about? First 6 chapters we dealt
Karma
with
Yoga,
Karma Yoga.
Karma.
Middle 6 chapters?
Bhakti Yoga.
And now last 6 chapters about Jnana Yoga. Now
Yoga.
Krishna already explained Bhakti Yoga. And as we know, Yoginam abhi sarvesham adgare nandaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yuktata momadha. Yoginam abhi sarvesham. So all the yogis, Bhakti Yogi is the topmost. Krishna himself says that Bhakti Yogi is the topmost. And so Krishna already spoke about Bhakti Yoga. Krishna in the 12th chapter in detail. But why is he telling about Jnana Yoga now? Bhakti Yoga is the topmost. And why now Krishna is saying about Jnana Yoga? He could have skipped these chapters, no? If Bhakti Yoga is the highest in the yoga ladder system, you got me? You got the question? If Bhakti Yoga is the highest and that's like the perfection, and Krishna himself says that's the best yoga and that's enough. But why is again Krishna going for Jnana Yoga now? 6 chapters.
Knowledge is important, Mataji.
Knowledge is important along with devotional service. Very good. For what? Why is knowledge important when we do bhakti?
Because we can learn about Krishna and we can preach about Krishna.
Yeah, if we have the knowledge, then nobody can,
nobody can
make that. Nobody can make us think that you have a like blind faith. Nobody can say that you're blind.
Yeah, so Krishna consciousness is a science. Yeah, Krishna consciousness science, and we need to know. We need to have a foundation, and we need to okay. Once you know this, have this knowledge about the Lord and about Prakriti, Purusha, and all that, what happens is you will not fall down. We become fixed in devotional service. What do you mean by fixed is that whatever happens in life, we will not leave devotional service. We will become fixed. We'll come to Nishta stage. So the more we know about the Lord, the more we know about devotional service and holy name, what happens? Our affinity or our conviction or will be convinced about the holy name or the glories of the holy name. Okay, so that is one reason. And also, if we just do bhakti, okay, we just do bhakti, that is, you are chanting the holy name, you are taking Ekadashi, all this you are doing, but you don't have any philosophy, then what is it called? What is such people called as? You chant. No. Sahajiyas doesn't chant. You're chanting. You chant the holy name. You take Ekadashi, do all the arti and worship and everything. The penais, prasadam for Krishna, everything you're doing. Sahajiyas doesn't chant the holy name. They don't do all this.
Neophytes, Mataji?
Neophytes also chant. I mean, neophytes know philosophy, little bit, no? That we are spirit soul. Little bit they know. Krishna is the supreme. Someone else was saying, Naveen Prabhu?
Sentimental.
Huh?
Sentimental.
Yeah, who was that? Who said sentimentalist?
Sandhya.
Sandhya Mataji. That is correct. Sentimentalist. That such a person is called a sentimentalist in the sense, just by sentiments, he's doing bhakti. Oh, Hare Krishna is so nice. Oh, bhakti is so nice. And doesn't know anything in philosophy. That is called sentimentalist. But if you know a lot of philosophy, your Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Sarvabhauma, and everything, all the degrees you have, but you're not chanting the holy name, you don't do any devotional service, then what is that called? The opposite of sentimentalist.
Mayavadis.
No.
Impersonalist.
Dry speculation.
Yeah, mental speculation. So, religion without philosophy is mentalism, and philosophy without religion is mental speculation or fanaticism. So, both should be rejected. Prabhupada says both, we need religion as well as we should be religious as well as we should know philosophy. Then only the real devotional service begins or starts. You go to any other sampradayas or thing, these courses and these reading books and all is not given much importance. I know my friend, she took already initiation. She don't read any books. They don't have to preach. They don't have to do anything. So I'm like, that's not the real thing. If you have to make more and more disciples and more people Krishna conscious, we have to preach. And if you have to preach, you should know something. If you don't know the philosophy, how will we preach? 90% of the teachers, devotees who I approach to take class, they are getting scared because they don't know the philosophy. If you know the philosophy, you will be like, Mataji, I'm ready to take any class anytime. Just 5 minutes before you call and tell, they are ready to take the class. They know the philosophy. They regularly read. They regularly hear Prabhupada. Nobody can know everything about Krishna. And that's the first thing I tell the teachers, that nobody will have full confidence. We learn. As we preach, we are learning actually. Our knowledge increases. But the real knowledge comes from the mercy of a guru. The guru is the one who is actually giving us knowledge. So we should have jnana also to be in bhakti. That's why these courses are all given, so that we have a nice foundation. So if bhakti is culmination of the yoga ladder, why is jnana interested? The Krishna himself has said, without the touch of bhakti, both karma and jnana become useless. And there's another reason why bhakti comes in the middle, because it's very precious. Now, any precious things you keep in a very secret place or in a hidden place. That's why bhakti is like a sandwich, you can say, or like a gold ring in a box. Okay. So we already saw that. Now, okay. So first sloka, Arjuna is asking 6 questions to Krishna. Okay. So if you want to remember, this is how you should remember: 2 P's, 2 K's, and 2 J's. Okay. These are the 6 questions Arjuna is asking Krishna. Jnana, Jnaya, Purusha, Prakriti, Kshetra, and Kshetratnya. So Kshetra is the field of activity and Kshetratnya is the knower of the field. Okay, so the field of activity, we can say the body, and the knower is the Paramatma, the Lord. Arjuna uvaja prakritim purusham chaiva kshetram kshetratnyam evacha edat vedidam ichchami jnanam cheyam cha keshava. So Arjuna is asking Krishna 6 things. Arjuna said, oh my Krishna, I wish to know about Prakriti, that is nature, Purusha, the enjoyer, Kshetra, the field in which one can act within the material world, and Kshetratnya, the knower of the field. And also Jnana, the process of acquiring knowledge, and Jnaya, the object of knowledge. So these are the 6 questions Arjuna is asking. And based on this, not everything will be covered in this chapter. We will see later on, because Prakriti itself need lot of explanation. That will come in the 14th chapter about the 3 modes of material nature. So Krishna is explaining each in one chapter. We'll see what are the explanations. Kshetra, Kshetratnya, Jnana, Jnaya is covered in this chapter. Prakriti comes in the next. Purusha comes in the 15th chapter, the Purushottam Yoga. So that's how the Krishna keeps explaining. So, okay, you understood. These are the 6 questions which Arjuna asked. Now Krishna says, Shri Bhagavan Vacha idam shariram kaundeya kshetram iti abhidhiyate etat yo veti tam prahu kshetratnya iti tadvidaha. So Krishna says, this body of son of Kunti is the field of activity, and one who knows this body is called the knower of the field. So Kshetra is the field of activity, this body. Okay, so what is this body made up of?
5
Our bodies.
5 elements.
5 elements and
Gross elements. What are they?
Earth, fire, air, water.
Water, fire, air, and ether. Okay. Now, this is the gross body which we have. And we also have a subtle body which is made up of
Mind, intelligence, and soul.
mind, intelligence, and false ego. And then there is the soul. So, Kshetra is this gross and subtle body. And Kshetrajna is the knower of the body. That is the individual soul which is living in the body. And also there is another Kshetrajna. Who's that? The super soul. Okay. So Kshetra and Kshetrajna. Any analogy? Does anyone remember about the soul and the super soul? Kshetra and Kshetrajna.
About the land, Mataji.
Yeah, very
Piece
nice.
of land.
Can you explain?
The piece of land can be known by only the owner of that particular land, Mataji. But the king
Yes.
knows everybody's citizens' lands. Like
Very
that,
good. Yes.
we know locally about only our body, but super soul knows every living entity.
Yeah, very good. Okay, very nice analogy. So this is the analogy you should all remember, the patch of land. So like you know about your land. Okay, each one of us knows about your land or whatever property you have. The government or the king knows about everyone's land. Similarly, the soul knows about this body. I know only about this body. But the super soul as Paramatma knows about everyone's body. And which form of the Lord is as Paramatma in our heart?
Shirodakshay Vishnu.
Shirodakshay Vishnu. What is the size?
8 inches.
Around thumb
8
size.
inches or between the thumb and the
Thumb and
Ring finger.
middle.
ring finger. Thumb and the ring finger. The size of the thumb. When did Krishna become the size of the thumb?
When he protected Parikshit in the womb of Uttara.
Very nice. In the womb of Uttara, from the Brahmastra of Ashwatthama, the son of Dronacharya. So there he became a thumb size. Okay, so otherwise it is mentioned 8 inches. That is the size between the thumb and the ring finger. But that is given in the living entities like human beings. But in other living entities, he'll be in different sizes. Okay, Krishna can become bigger than the bigger, smaller than the smaller. Anima, Legima, Mahima, Siddhis he has. So Kshetra is the body, okay, the field of activity. And Kshetrajna is the knower of the body, the knower of the field. Who is that? The soul and the super soul. The individual soul is living within the body. And so any other analogy you remember about soul and super soul? How is it compared to this?
Mataji, it's like a bird is sitting on a tree.
Yes.
One is witnessing and another is enjoying the fruits.
Yeah. So who is enjoying the fruit? Which?
Living entity is
The
enjoying
living
the
entity,
fruits
the
and
soul. The soul is doing
yes.
the karma. And who is witness?
The super soul.
Paramatma, the super soul. So it's like two birds in the same tree. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita also, Ishvara sarva bhutana hridesh arjuna tishtati. Sarvasya shaha hridi sannivishta. He says he sits in the heart. So he is in the heart of the living entities. So the kshetra is the body, the field of activity, and kshetrajna is the knower of the field of activity or the soul. And he is different from the body. Kshetra, the field, is non-permanent material thing. However, kshetrajna, soul, is eternal. Those who think that the body is self are not knowers of the field, since they do not know the real nature and functions of the body. Kshetrajna is Krishna also, as Paramatma. He is a knower of all the bodies as super soul, like a sun. Sun casts sunlight on everybody. So similarly, the Lord is there in everyone's heart as Paramatma, super soul. He is the Pradhana Kshetrajna, the chief knower of everything. Jnana is perfect knowledge of this material body. Jnana means the real knowledge. What is the difference between matter and spirit, the soul and super soul. Okay, so Kshetrajna. But if some people consider this body as permanent, now such people are considered to be an ass. Saiva Gokara. They are like an ass because they are like foolish animals. They think that this body is permanent. But no, it's just temporary. But the soul is permanent. But they don't do anything for the soul. Its devotional services are not done. So I hope all of you have clear with Kshetra and Kshetrajna. So the perfect knowledge is knowing Prakriti, the real knowledge. There is Vidya and Aparavidya, Paravidya and Aparavidya. We'll see detail in Ishoparishad about Vidya. So there is real knowledge and temporal knowledge. Real knowledge is to know about body and soul, matter and spirit. And the temporary knowledge, all material things, just temporary in the sense, once this life gets over, it's gone. So here, this is very important, the analogy of the king, the citizen, and the patch of land. 13.3, this is an important Bhakti Shastri question. So there it says, Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Kshetra kshetratnyayor jnanam yatta jnanam matam mama. So in as Krishna says, O son of Bharata, you should understand that I am the knower in all the bodies. And to understand this body and its knower is called knowledge. This is my opinion. To understand this body, in the sense, not just biology of this material body, but to know the reals about the soul or the spirits. That is very important. So the Lord says he is the knower of the field of activity in all the bodies. Sarvakshetreshu Bharata. Everywhere he is there. The Supreme Lord as Super Soul is present in everyone's body. And this is like a citizen might know about his patch of land. But the king knows about everybody, everyone. He knows not only of his palace, but the properties possessed by all the individual citizens. Similarly, one may be the proprietor of the body individual, but the Supreme Lord is a proprietor of all the bodies. The king is the original proprietor of the kingdom, and the citizen is the secondary proprietor. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is the supreme proprietor of all the bodies. Okay, so Krishna is the chief knower of everything. Can you quote some examples from the Shastras? We'll have a breakout room here. From the scriptures, to any pastime where to make us know that, yes, Krishna already know that, or Krishna, in the sense, let's say, position of Krishna as the chief knower. That some pastime happened, Krishna already knew that, or Krishna has known that pastime happening, something like that. Okay, so position of Krishna as the chief knower. Yeah, like something like that. A few examples from the scriptures. There are so many examples where we already know that Krishna already knew that thing, or Krishna has known, or Krishna is the knower, the chief knower, to prove Krishna is the chief knower. So we'll have a quick breakout room and come back. Okay, so all are back. Now I see that some devotees are not joining the breakout room. Pushti Mataji, you didn't join the room, and also Panraj Prabhu. So next time, those who are not joining the breakout room will not be getting attendance. Okay, we'll note you because it's not fair. No, others are joining and you're not joining, and you have to follow the rules, the class. So room number 1, you have Ekta
Mataji, sorry to interrupt. Pushti Mataji messaged in the beginning saying she's in temple service, Mataji, so she's not able to talk.
Okay, what about Panraj Prabhu? Join.
I don't know, Mataji.
So room number 1, Ekta Mataji, Mamta Mataji, Naveen Prabhu, Padmashri Mataji, Raghunath Prabhu, Tapas Prabhu, Manacha Mataji, and Tatatreya Prabhu. Yeah, who's speaking?
Hare Krishna Mataji, I'm speaking.
Yes.
Yes, so when Arjuna was kid and he knew that the tree, the Yam Arjuna tree, they were like they were the Kubera's son, he'll grow and money grow. That one is that, and other one is that the there's a one story was that when the battle was going for Kurukshetra, so battle was going, and somebody has to cook for the army. So there was a king who wanted to serve the Krishna. So Krishna gave him the job to cook the food for all the army. So and he asked, "How will I know how many people I have to cook for?" Right? So Krishna gave an indication by leaving the peanuts. That's what I heard. And then he will count the how many peanuts are there. So for that many lakh people he has to cook. So Krishna knew that. And the plus the and one more incident is that in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling Arjuna ki all these people has been like dead. You just fight and be the instrument, right? That's what Krishna knew about it, right? And one is the Abhimanyu. When Abhimanyu was killed, no, not Abhimanyu was, sorry, when Abhimanyu was going to be killed, so he took Arjuna away from the battlefield, little away, so that he doesn't know that his son is going to be killed. And another one is when Ashwatthama killed the 5 Pandavas, dropped his son, and Arjuna took the vow, I'm going to kill Ashwatthama, and he was in hiding space. Arjuna knew where he was and how he will come out. So he made the son to just disappear for a little while. And when Arjuna came and he wanted to kill him, but he knew that Arjuna won't kill, so he asked Draupadi, what do you want to do? So Draupadi said, no, he's Brahmana's kid, so we don't want to kill. So basically, he knew everything what's going to happen. So these are the examples we got.
Okay, room number 2.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, we discussed wonderful examples, out of which one was the Krishna showing his Vishwarupa, in which all the Kauravas were being seen that they are being killed. So in this, we knew that Krishna knew everything. Then we discussed few Bal Leelas like Aghasura, then Brahma Leela, and in Indra's ego was crushed by Krishna stopping his devotion, his puja and lifting the Govardhan. Then we also discussed the Leela when gopis gave the food dust to Krishna, knowing that they will go to hell, just because they were just satisfied that yes, Krishna's headache will stop and Krishna will get relief. So they offered the dust. Then in Mahabharata, Krishna knew what was the outcome of the war, so he consoled Arjuna, and he guided him accordingly step by step, and helping him to kill the powerful enemies. Then we also discussed, Mataji, the Dronacharya's 5 weapons, which Krishna knew that they would be very harmful for Pandavas. So Krishna asked Arjuna to get the weapons. Then Krishna also knew that Karna was the brother of Arjuna. So accordingly, he planned everything, and he got the kavach from Karna. And then lastly, Mataji, we discussed about also this Samantak money story, wherein Krishna was accused of stealing the money, and then he fought with Jamban for 21 days. and then Jamban realizing that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and then he gave his daughter as a wife to requested Krishna to marry his daughter. So this all I can remember, Mataji. Other members can please add if I missed something. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, very nice. Yes, what about room number 3?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Dandavat Pranam. Mataji, we discussed some of the past leelas. Like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that as a Paramatma, he knows every living entity's desires and he sanctions according to their eligibility. So based upon that, Yashoda and Nanda Maharaja and Devaki and Vasudeva, they desire to get son, Supreme Personality of Godhead as their son. So he sanctioned that desire. And even Jaya and Vijaya, when they want to fight with Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Krishna has created one cause, like, Durvasa Mahamani coming there and cursing them and taking birth, like Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, and Shishupala, Dantavakra, Ravana, and Kumbhakarna, like that. He fulfilled that desire also. And Kardama Muni and Devahuti, they also requested God to be their son, and Kapila Mahamuni has come as their son and given Sankhya philosophy. And Sita has desired to brought up their children in a nice Muni sages ashramas. So he created one situation that like the people will be doubting Sita about her. So Rama sent her to forest so that her wish can be fulfilled, and children can be born in Valmiki ashrama, and they can brought up in nice environment, and spiritually they can grow. And there is one more, like in Kurukshetra battle, he knows Barbarika's desire, and that's why he cut his head and kept on the hill of nearby the Kurukshetra field. And in Treta Yuga, whoever wished to marry Rama, but that desire was fulfilled only in Dwapara Yuga. And these are the pastimes, Mataji, we discussed. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. I think we had only 3 rooms, no?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, you can post the attendance link, Mataji. Okay, so we saw that Krishna already know what is happening. So he is Antaryami, he knows everything. In the sense, he is the one who is actually planning things also. So we have, these are different examples. You got so many examples from the Shastras. So he is Kshetrajna. Okay, Kshetra is the field and Kshetrajna is the knower of the field. So this knower might be, the soul is very limited about the knowledge, but the super soul knows about everything. Not only this life, he knows about 84,000 lives of all the living entities. Shibir bahudha gitam chanto virvivida kritat brahma sutra patasyaiva hetuvad virvinishitaha. So that knowledge of field of activities and of the knower of the activities is described by various sages in various Vedic writings, especially in Vedanta Sutra, and is presented with all reasoning as to the cause and effect. So the knowledge, the jnana, okay, it has been mentioned in the scriptures also. And although Krishna has established his own position as a Supreme Personality Godhead, the highest authority is actually in explaining the knowledge is the Shastras. So Krishna says, he says evidences come from authorities. So this is Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. So very important. Whenever we say something, we should say something which our Guru said. Like Srila Prabhupada, our own Diksha Gurus would have said something. So we can say that. Or it has to be given in the Shastras, scriptures. Or some sadhus, like great devotees, should have said this. So anything we say, it has to be substantiated with these references. 6 to 7 is about the understanding the body, the field of activities, as the 24 elements of material nature. This is the Mahatattva. Mahabhutani hangaro buddhit avyaktamevacha indriyani dashaikam cha panchendriya gocharaha ichchadveshta sukham dukkam sangataschetanatritihi etakshetram samasena savikaram utahritam. The 5 great elements, that is false ego, intelligence, the unmanifested, and the 10 senses, the mind, the 5 sense objects, desire, hatred, happiness, distress, the aggregate, the life, symptoms, and convictions. All these are considered in summary to be the field of activities and its interactions. So about the 24 elements, the Mahattva, you should know, that is the 5 Mahattva includes 24 elements, okay, including the 5 gross elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether. 5 knowledge acquiring senses, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin. 5 working senses, voice, hands, leg, evacuating organ for procreation. 5 sense objects, smell, taste, form, touch, sound. Mind, intelligence, false ego, and pradhana. So these are the 24 elements called Mahatattva. And the interaction or representation of the 5 gross elements produces the qualities such as desire, hatred, happiness, distress. And subtle body is mind, intelligence, false ego. There are 6 changes the body undergo. First is it's born, then it grows, it stays for some time, it produces the byproducts, and then begin to decay and vanishes. So the body is non-permanent material thing, but we should know that even though this body is non-permanent, still with this body we can go back to Godhead. With this non-permanent body, we can try to achieve the permanent Lord in the set. Okay, so it's very rare to get a human form. Even though this material body will perishes, still it is important. Why? Because in this body, we can do devotional service. Durlabham manusham deham dehinam kshanabhakuram tatravi durlabham manye vaikunta priyadarshanam. It's very rare to get a human form of life. Why is it said the human form is rare? What is that rarity? Why is it rare?
There are 84 lakh species of life, Mataji.
Yes.
That the soul has to go through before it's
So in
born.
that 84 lakhs, what happens? Please give chance to others also speak. Yes. Snigdha Mataji.
Because we have consciousness, Mataji, which animals do not have.
Okay, that is one thing. We have a higher consciousness. Then out of 84 lakh species, how much is humans?
4
lakh.
4 lakh.
4 lakh. So when you see all the animals, there is Jalaja Navalakshani, that is 9 lakhs in aquatics and more than 10 lakhs. You can see reptiles, birds, so many. But only Chatur Lakshani Manava, there is only 4 lakhs only human beings based on consciousness and form, and that's the lowest. So in that case, that human form is very rare to achieve. Now, once you achieve the human form, definitely it's going to perish, but still, Dehinam Shanabhanguram. Okay, Turlapa Manushajan, it's very rare to get a human form, and Dehinam Shanabhanguram. The Dehi, the body will be destroyed. But still, Tatrabi Durlapa, what is more rare than getting a human form? Getting human form is rare, as you all said, it's just 4 lakhs. But what is more rarer than getting a human form?
Being able to do devotional service to the Lord.
Okay. Now becoming a devotee, yes, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Pravatete Vasudeva Sarva Iti Samahatma Sudurabha. It's very, after so many Janmas only that happens. But
is it sadhana, Mataji?
That's what Mataji said, devotional service. Sadhana, okay. More than that.
Getting a guru, Mataji. Getting a guru.
Getting a
Getting
guru,
a bona fide guru.
close, almost close.
Self-realization and reaching Krishna, Golok Vrindavan, Mataji.
That's all last. But yes, getting a guru. Yes, Prabhu.
Association of devotees.
Association of devotees. Tatrabi Durlabham Manye Vaikunta Priyadarshana. It's very rare to get a human form, even though it is going to get destroyed. More rare than that to get association of devotees. Sometimes we don't value the association of devotees because only by, yes, and then come, yeah, Guru, definitely with the help of Guru only. The association of devotees includes Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, everyone. So we should have association of devotees. Very, very rare to get. What is that? Bajahure mana Srinanda Nandana Abhaya Charanara Vidare Durlabha Manava Janama Satsanga Tarahue Bhava Sindhure. It's very rare to get Durlabha Manava Janama Satsanga. Very rare to get this satsanga or association of devotees. Not everybody gets it. So we should make use of that association. Okay, so 8 to 12 is about jnana, the process of acquiring knowledge. Okay, now Krishna is answering the question 5, what is jnana, of Arjuna in detail from 8 to 12. Amanitvam adambitvam ahimsa kshantirarjavam archayopasanam shaucham stairyam atma vinigraha indriyarteshu vairagyam anahankara evacha janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanudarshana asaktir anabhiviswanga putradhara grahadishu nityam cha samachittatvam ishtanishtopavattishu मयि चानन्ययोगेन भक्तिरव्यापिचारिणि विविक्त देशसेवित्वम् आरतिर्जनसंसदि आध्यात्मज्ञाननित्यत्वं तत्त्वज्ञानार्थदर्शन एतज्ज्ञानम् इति प्रोक्तम् अज्ञानं यद् अतो अन्यथा. So these are these 4 slokas are together 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5. So these slokas includes what? The what all is expected from a person who is in knowledge. That's humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master. This is all considered as knowledge. If somebody is approaching a spiritual master, that means he has knowledge. Why are we approaching a spiritual master? To know about spiritual truth. There was a board outside His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj's quarters. And in that there's a big board, and in that board Guru Maharaj have written so many things. He writes, and there he writes, if you want money, if you want to have a good wife or husband, if you want children, if you want a good job, if you want so if you want if you have any queries about your material life, how to become rich, fame, power, all that, please approach me. In the sense Guru Maharaj. And then at the corner, he says, he writes, and if you have any spiritual queries also, you can approach me. And everybody is like, why Maharaj? It should be ulta. It should be like spiritual queries first and the material is last. Then Guru Maharaj said, what to do? 90% of my disciples are coming for this only. 99% of the disciples are coming and saying, Guru Maharaj, I want a job. Please help me. Guru Maharaj, I want to get married. Please bless me to have a devotee girl or a devotee boy. I want a devotee child. This all material things. And Guru Maharaj is like, am I here to give you material blessings? No. That's why who was hiding in a public toilet so as to hide from this material blessings? Does anyone know? It's one of our acharyas. Yeah, Gaureshwar Das Babaji. So he used to hide in public toilets because Babaji, Gaureshwar Das Babaji, even though he's illiterate, he's such a big scholar in the sense he was so great devotee that he was 24 hours chanting literally. And he was so humble and simple that people used to go to him and Babaji, please bless us to become rich. Please bless us for that. There's all material blessings. And Gaureshwar Das Babaji was fed up with all the giving these blessings. So he used to hide in public toilets because public toilets is a place where nobody goes. It's very stinky and it's so smelly and a very dirty place. He used to sit in public toilet and chant Hare Krishna and lock from inside. So that was because he hates giving material blessings. And Guru Maharaj also in a funny way wrote that all my disciples are coming for material things only from me. And spiritual queries, but then is that Guru for that? Guru is not a fashion, Prabhupada says. It's not a fashion that I also have a guru. Sometimes, no, your email ID, your t-shirt, a cap or a badge and so many things, no, they have their name and they write JPS. And just to show you're part of Jayapataka Swami, you are a disciple of him. No, we should not be guru bogi. We should not expose or we should not get fame or be noticed by saying that I am such person's disciple. No, we should not use a guru for that. The guru is really for what? Tatviti pradipatena pari prashnena sevaya upadeshandite jnanam jnanina tattvadarshinaha. Tatviti pradipatena pari prashnena seva. It's to ask questions and to do seva. Guru is mainly for that. So the real knowledge is to have to approach a guru without motivation. You can see Acharya Upasanam, that is without motivation. And cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of object of sense, gratification, absence of false ego, perception of evil of birth, death, old age, disease, non-attachment to children, wife, home, rest, and even-mindedness, pleasant and even-mindedness among pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to Krishna, resorting to solitary places, detachment from general mass of people, accepting the importance of self-realization and philosophical search for absolute truth. All this, Krishna says, is knowledge. And what is contrary to it, contrary is ignorance. So we'll see in each of these symptoms, Krishna describes the different aspects of a saintly character by which a soul can disentangle himself from material body and attain liberation. There's the following aspects of knowledge. So these are all aspects of knowledge. Like somebody who is, it is said a tree with a lot of fruits will bend. So that's humility. Prabhupada was like that. He was so humble. As somebody asked Prabhupada, are you going to America? Prabhupada said, no, Srimad Bhagavatam is going to America. I'm just assisting it. So pridelessness, he was not proud of anything. Okay. Even though when somebody asked, oh, you think you are the guru of everybody? And Prabhupada said, no, I am the servant of everyone. I'm the servant of all of you. So he was not proud of anything. Non-violence, not putting others to distress. When Mr. N, there was a Juhu case, and Mr. N did not give the property. Prabhupada never fought with that person or anything. He was following non-violence. Prabhupada just chanted and prayed. And finally, Krishna only took care of it. Like Mr. N had a heart attack. But finally, we won the case. We got the land because Prabhupada wanted Radha Bihari to have that temple. And tolerance, bearing insults and dishonor. Prabhupada was a very nice example. He tolerated everything, even when he was attacked with a gun by one of the hippie. He was so tolerant that he went to the park and he was just chanting. He didn't know where to go, where to play. He didn't have any place to stay. Simplicity, straightforward and non-diplomatic. It was very simple. Prabhupada didn't hide the regulative principles when he went to the West. Just imagine in 60s, meat eating, intoxication, gambling, illicit sex, all this was part of their life of Westerners. They could not think about a life without meat eating. Every day they break the regulative principles. So just imagine Prabhupada going and making them devotees, not an easy thing. Krishna Shakti vina nahi hua parivartan. Definitely Krishna has empowered him, but he was so tolerant with all these things. Somebody said, Prabhupada, how are you? There was a crazy Peter. There was a person who was very crazy and he sleeps on the entrance of the temple. So everybody's like, Prabhupada, what to do? Prabhupada's like, tolerate, just tolerate. Let him come. At least he's coming to temple for at least to sleep. Let him come. And then they're like, no, Prabhupada, we're not able to do it. Then Prabhupada said, as I am tolerating all of you, you should tolerate. Later, this crazy Peter became a great devotee, great book distributor and all that. But Prabhupada knew that tolerance is required. And simplicity, even though people criticize, Prabhupada, are you wearing a bed sheet? And they never saw a dhoti in America in 60s. Like, are you wrapping a bed sheet around you and walking? But Prabhupada was so simple. Prabhupada's godbrothers, they went and they became Westerners, like they were wearing all kind of modern things. But Prabhupada was very simple. Serving a bona fide guru, yes, Prabhupada always give the credit to the spiritual master. Prabhupada never went to the samadhi of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur because for Prabhupada, his guru was always alive with him. Prabhupada said, I didn't have to go to the samadhi because for me, my guru is alive. He's not gone anywhere. So why should I go to the samadhi? Cleanliness, both internal and external. Still remember, Prabhupada was in one of the airports and it was time to chant his Gayatri. And he even took bath in the airport. And he was always clean. Even in Kumbh Mela, early morning, it was very cold. Still Prabhupada went and took bath. Even the disciples were sleeping and they were trying to skip the early morning bath. Prabhupada did it. So it was very clean. Steadiness, determined to progress. For 5 hours, Prabhupada waited for the green card to get in America to go to America in Sumati Moraji's office. He was waiting for 5 hours chanting. So he was so determined because otherwise he could have given up. And Sumati Moraji also said, you're old man, you will die there once you go. Prabhupada's like, no, I have to go. He was so determined. Self-controlled, rejecting unfavorable things. When his business failed in Allahabad and his lab and chemical lab and all was closing, Prabhupada rejected those unfavorable things and took up Krishna consciousness. Renunciation of objects of sense gratification. He was detached. No false ego, no identification with the body. When he asked his wife, do you want me or tea? And the wife, in a funny way, said, I want tea and not you. Prabhupada took it as a positive sign, and he just went to Krishna consciousness completely. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam. These four things, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, birth, death, old age, and disease, definitely it's giving suffering to all of us in this material world. So somebody in knowledge have a nice perception of these and detached from everything. The Prabhupada's son came and asked for money. Still, he was not attached. Prabhupada said, this money belongs to Krishna. And freedom from entangled with children, wife, home, and rest. This is not to be imitated. It's not for us neophytes. It's for pure devotees like Uttama Adhikari, who's above the three modes of material nature. They are transcendental. And even mindness among pleasant and unpleasant events. Even some negative news come in the newspaper that Hare Krishnas did that, Hare Krishnas did this. Prabhupada's like, how many times did they mention Hare Krishna in the newspaper? And the devotee said 10 times, Prabhupada, 20 times. Prabhupada's like, good. At least those who read the paper, they will chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So even at that time, unpleasant events also, Prabhupada was even-minded. And constant unalloyed devotion to Krishna, definitely undeviating attention. So Prabhupada is constantly praying to Krishna. Even when he had 2 heart attacks in Jaladuta, the stroke, he was like on the 3rd time, he could literally see the dream that Krishna comes and was protecting him. So definitely he had unalloyed devotion to Krishna. Secluded living means living in a devotee association. Okay, Prabhupada always wanted devotee association. Today I was hearing one lecture and that Prabhu says there was a brahmachari whose mother was not a devotee and she was sick, very sick, and she was about to leave the body. She was in Bhaktivedanta hospital admitted. So all the brahmacharis, his friends, all of them, they went and they made her put tilak and they chanted the holy name. They were doing kirtan. And in that, one brahmachari went near the mother and said, Mother, can you please chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. So he went on asking her. She was like, she was nodding her head, no. And finally she was about to leave the body and she opened her mouth and said, I can't chant such a big mantra. She said that. I could not chant, she could not chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but she just said, I can't chant such a big mantra. And she left the body immediately. So definitely that soul will become devotee next life because at least heard the Harinam and had an association of devotees at the end. But this is what, how people are like, as Prabhupada says, chant, and they say can't. So some are like that. But to see Prabhupada, how Prabhupada had unalloyed devotion to Krishna, that even at the time of death, at the end, he wasn't going to Samadhi. He was translating Srimad Bhagavatam. So his consciousness was completely attached to Krishna. And living in the association of devotees is very, very important. Then only our bhakti will advance. And detachment from general mass of people, that will automatically come as you do devotional service, we can see. And accepting importance of self-realization, that's where we are all here. And philosophical search of absolute truth. Okay, so that is about today's session. So anything to add? Any questions? So this search, philosophical search of absolute truth should be there. That is called, what is that quality called as? Search for absolute truth. What term is used to describe that? Which is required for a human being?
Jijnasu, Mataji.
Okay, Jijnasu. It comes under Jijnasu. One more term.
Brahma Jignasu.
Yeah, Dado Brahma Jijnasa. Adado Brahma Jijnasa, which is a Vedanta Sutra. The first Vedanta Sutra says Adado Brahma Jijnasa. That is, a human, therefore, we should inquire about the absolute truth. We should inquire about the absolute truth. Otherwise, human form of life is wasted if we don't inquire about the absolute truth. Okay. So that is, Jivasya Tattva Jijnasa, it is said. Tattva Jijnasa, we should know about the absolute truth in this human form. Okay, since it's Ekadashi, we will stop early. So Monday is Nityananda Trayadashi. Again, there is a fast till afternoon. And there will be program in the temple we'll let you know the timings and all. There'll be Abhisheka of Gaurnitais and there'll be Kirtan Pravachan and all that. Okay. So anything else to add? I think we are done.
Mataji, may I ask one question, Mataji? Mataji, regarding sadhana form, what we feel weekly, Mataji, is this the same like SEVA Swarupa Prabhu is explained sadhana chart? Is it same or different is there, Mataji?
Who?
Prabhu taken class, no, Mataji?
He did Bhakti homes, no, Mataji, from Mayapur.
Yes. Yeah, sadhana chart. This is for online devotees. He is telling about Bhakti homes, no? That is different. Like at home, you do Mangalarati at home, different sadhaka, all the levels, no?
So where can I find that sadhana chart, Mataji, to fill? So yeah, weekly
That
we
will
have
be
to
in bhaktihome.com.
Okay.
I think he was sharing that website that day.
Yes, Mataji, he shared, but I was unable to find. So that's why
Even
I
it's
raised
there
this.
in bhaktikids.com. There's so much.
Okay. Okay, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. I think we can stop here. Thank you, everyone. Vanchakalpatarubhasya kripasindhubhyo paridhana pavni vaishnavi.